dedication you put into everything. Are so proud of you this year and all the amazing work that you're doing. Thank you for being such a thought leader and inspiration, and for all you do for the community, for humanity, and for our groups.
I am honored to be here among so many wonderful people and to support April Sutton in what she's doing. I'm always a supporter of her, and I'm so proud of her for taking on this endeavor. It's absolutely wonderful. So my love goes out to April Sutton.
I haven't met April yet, but I was invited by these two lovely, lovely women, business partners, soul sisters from another lifetime. I'm just honored to be here, and it's an amazing event. And I just thank everybody, I think.
Hello. This time I can smile.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ron Brewington. I'll be your announcer for the evening. We'd like to welcome you to the 2017 Diplomat Tea Gala. Would you please stand for the national anthem? Ladies and gentlemen, we are very, very happy to see so many familiar faces and many new faces as we celebrate an evening of cultural diversity and global unity. Each year, we recognize distinguished individuals who are making our world a better place by either working in foreign countries like Senegal or representing countries and cultures from their birthplace like Greece, Egypt, and the Bahamas. But before we begin our program tonight, we would like to acknowledge a few people in here this evening. First, he's a 6-time Grammy Award winner from the renowned musical group Earth, Wind & Fire, Mr. Larry Dunn, and his beautiful wife, Lisa. And Leela Christine of the Lifestyle Elevation Media Group.
Yeah.
Emmy Award-winning actress, Jeanne Dubois.
Yeah.
How could you forget it? She played all those years right on Good Times.
Stanford and on.
We both know.
Renowned actress, Ametha Donnelly. Sworna. You can't say enough for this lady. She started her professional career as a television reporter in Cleveland, Ohio at WJWTV8 CBS. She became the first hired West Coast Hollywood TV personality on the BET television network. I remember I used to work for Sheridan Broadcasting Network and American Urban Radio Network, so we'd be running through Hollywood and SUV, me and her, back in the day. In 1993, she made history by becoming the youngest inductee in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame for her Hollywood TV reports. She later joined the Geraldo Show on CBS Network, covering fast-breaking news stories. She has received numerous awards, and in 2012, she received the Broadcasters Legend Award as a television pioneer. Her humanitarian efforts include shipping hundreds of new tennis shoes to children in Tanzania, Africa. Also, developing initiatives for poverty-stricken children and focusing on relief efforts in East African nations, including Tanzania and Kenya, since 2005. On December 11, 2011, she was appointed Ambassador of Goodwill by the government of the Republic of Kenya, Africa. Last year, she completed her 10th presidential invitation as a United Nations delegate to the General Assembly. Yeah. She is the only person with a Hollywood background to achieve this distinction. Amen. Amen. Ambassador Sutton served as Mistress of Ceremonies at the United Nations Day of Remembrance program 2 years in a row. Her years at the United Nations has given her access to some of the most powerful global leaders in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the founder of the Diplomat Tea Gala, Ambassador April Sutton.
Thank you so much. I am so happy to see so many beautiful faces this evening. Tonight is so special because each and every one of you are here tonight. And I want you to know that diversity is what we need in this country right now. There is so much going on around the world, around our globe, around our universe, and it is so important for each and every one of us to come together in unity as brothers and sisters on this planet. And one of the reasons why I created this event, of course, was because when I got my first presidential invitation to the UN, I was able to really listen to so many world leaders around the world to talk about what's going on in their region. And because Los Angeles has over 100 consulates in the city of Los Angeles, you know, we can turn on the TV and hear about what's going on in Hollywood almost every week. There's red carpet events, there's celebrity events, there's all of the entertainment events and entertainment news. But we have over 100 consulates in this city. And I felt like we really need to step it up and develop a platform so that we can really spotlight those that are foreign, representing their countries, their homeland. We need to learn more about them. We need a platform for them. We need to listen to them. We need to hear them. And that is why the city of Los Angeles, being the second largest city, I felt that it was imperative that we create an event like this. So I really want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. I hope that you will continue to support our efforts. We have a wonderful program this evening. We have representatives here from Egypt, from the Bahamas, from Senegal, and one of our honorees hails from Panama. So I just want to to say that tonight is an evening of true diversity. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out. You know, tonight we're going to do something a little different. This will be our first time giving out the Ovis Award. This is going to be an award that we will continue from this point on. Next year will be our 10th annual Diplomats Diversity Gala, and I'll tell you a little bit about that a little bit later. But to get started, I want to introduce our first...
I wanted to say that we have Zambia here.
Zambia is here. Yes. Yeah, is there anyone else that I might have, yes. You know, at this time, I just want to mention that we also have a very, very award-winning publicist here, Charmaine Blake. I'm trying to find her. Where is Charmaine? She's way in the back. She is one of the most renowned publicists in the city of Los Angeles. I wish we could find her a chair. Can we get her to come here, maybe? Can we? Yes. Okay, he said he'll give you your seat.
We have Sri Lanka also.
Yes. So at this time, I would like all of the council generals, former council generals, to please come forward at this time. I just saw the council general St. Vincent and Grenadines come in. So I see Sir Lankus here. I see Jamaica. This lady here, I mean, just received a wonderful announcement that she's now the treasurer of the DNC. I'm so honored to have Lorna. Please come forward. Our representative from Barbados, Mr. Greenwich, and our representative from Trinidad and Tobago. Please. This is global. Let's give all of them a round of applause. I would like for each of them to take a few minutes to tell a little bit about what country they're from, and then we'll get on with doing our award ceremony. So let's have each one of you just speak briefly. What country are you from? Just a little bit about your country, just briefly.
The Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Egypt.
Issa Timbo from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Actually, today is the 56th independence of Sierra Leone today.
Robert Sichinga from Zambia. And just so you know, our capital city, Lusaka, is also a sister city with Los Angeles. Yes. Has been for 49 years.
Consul General for Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is famous for tea, Ceylon tea.
Hello to everyone. I'm Gregory Karachalios, Consul General of Greece.
Hello everyone, Lorna Johnson, Honorary Consul of Jamaica, and I cannot say enough about my beautiful sister, April Sutton. That's amazing. And it was really hard for me to be here tonight, but I couldn't miss it because I have to support her and what she's doing. She's just so fabulous and has done so many wonderful things and is always supportive of all the cultures and truly diversity.
Catherine Gill, Consul General of St. Vincent and Grenadines, where Pirates of the Caribbean was filmed, the Johnny Depp.
I'm Mam Tukuleur Mbaye, the Honorary Consul of Senegal.
Martin Greenwich from Barbados. And last year was our 50th year of independence.
I am Merv Richardson from the Democratic Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And for those who don't know, Trinidad and Tobago invented the only percussion instrument in the 20th century, the steel band. I'm also the president of Citizens and Friends of Trinidad and Tobago, a non-profit organization in the greater Los Angeles area.
And I'm so thrilled to be able to spotlight the achievement of this woman. I've known her and I've watched her grow, and I've seen the power that she carries with her career and with her life. And her name is Giovanni Brewer. Giovanni Brewer is a consummate television producer with superlative talent as a creative executive with vision. Her passion combined with leadership skills has propelled every aspect of her dynamic career as an influencer. She has made a point to mentor countless numbers along with women who have tried to achieve their own maximum potential. Since she and her partner Jeff Fishgren formed Black and White TV Inc. as an independent production company to produce for multiple broadcast networks, cable, and corporate clients, earning them a number of awards, including a Primetime Emmy nomination. Black and White TV were the executive producers of 2 performances at the White House specials for PBS. And let me repeat that. They did 2 specials at the White House, which were both hosted by President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle. Clearly, this was a shunning moment which began so humbly for a girl born in Panama City, Central America. Giovanni Brewer started her career as a documentary producer, earning accolades for her award-winning PBS cultural documentary, Baja, Africa, and the Americas. She served as supervising producer for the Soul Train Music Awards and oversaw the longest-running first-run syndicated weekly dance series, Soul Train for Don Cornelius Productions. She was also the executive producer of BET's highly rated yearly gospel music special titled Celebration of Gospel for an unprecedented 14 seasons. Giovanni will soon be producing a Grand Ole Opry tribute to the great Ray Charles, celebrating his enormous contribution to country music. Underscoring her professional accomplishments is Giovanni's strong faith. She currently participates in a media mentorship program for foster kids here in the city of Los Angeles. Giovanni's love of God and for her 2 amazing sons, Michael and Milan, frame the artfulness of her rich and colorful life. But to those who know her best, she's recognized for being the real treasure that lies deep within her heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so honored to bring her to the stage right now. She will be receiving the very first 2017 Orbis Award. It is being honored in the name of an individual that we will bring up a little bit later. But at this time, we're so honored to have you here to receive the first time the Orbis Award at the Diplomat Diversity Gala.
I'm incredibly humbled and honored to be in the company of such great brothers and sisters. Needless to say, April Sutton is somebody that I've known for many decades. We started basically in the business together, and to watch her grow and develop into this amazing woman that cares so much for an entire world, bringing each and every one of you, giving you the platform to share your stories, share the needs of your countries. It's a great, great honor because we live in an environment, we live in a city where we celebrate a lot of Hollywood. And like she said before, the work that you're doing in your individual cities and countries is really the work that needs to be celebrated because we need to leave a great legacy to our children and to our friends. I have to say that she wanted me to share this particular anecdote, and I'll make it brief. But I think is reflective as to how I believe we should approach our lives. Yes, I was born in Panama, humble beginnings, and through the struggles that all of us go through and those parts of the stories that shape our lives, and we should never be ashamed and always use them to build our character. I ended up being one of the executive producers of 2 shows at the White House where the first family, the Obamas, hosted. I have to say, the first program that we did there we were their new producers. May I go on? Yes. And so we were told, because you're the new producers, you won't be able to take any pictures with the president, so you will have to stand at the end of the line, and it's just not possible. Clearly, you want to have the opportunity to meet them and to let them know that the show that they're about to see that is your work. And so all of the executives that were presidents, Aretha Franklin, all of these celebrities were in front of us. And for some reason, and maybe it is written, and you'll see why, the social secretary came out and said, we've decided to flip the order of the line. And so, the last shall be first. And so, we were able to now be the first people in line and introduce to the president and the first lady as the producers of that night's event. And I guess the theme is just stand the course, stand your ground, keep your attitude positive, regardless of what, we're in the business of rejection when it comes to Hollywood, but there's only rejection if you reject yourself. I always tell I told my children and my friends, and I have 3 wonderful young ladies here who I mentor, and I always tell them, I said, we're wired to win from within. Okay? And so, regardless of your circumstances, all of us now are in the moment, particularly now in this season, where it's time to dust off every dream that you've had. Amen. There is no expiration date on a dream. And so this is the time and the season for an opportunity, because it seems hard, but we must break up the foul ground, yes? And then deposit the seeds of our faith and watch them grow in marvelous, marvelous events such as this. Yeah.
Our next honoree that's going to receive the 2017 Orcus Award is an actress that we've all seen for so many decades. She was so beautifully introduced by Ron Ruinton earlier. You've seen her on Good Times. She was the mother of Penny. This woman is an Emmy Award-winning actress, a humanitarian. She is an artist. She is a force of nature. I've never seen a woman like this that just is beautiful. It seems like every year this woman gets beautiful, more prettier and more beautiful and more beautiful and more beautiful. We must give this woman a standing ovation. I am talking about none other than award-winning, Emmy Award-winning actress, Janae Dubois. She was not expecting this at all. I had to really fight to get her here. She had no idea that this was going to happen.
I'm about to cry. Hold on. This is my child. I say that because there's nothing that we needed to do together that we haven't done. And I am so proud to be here tonight to see so many wonderful, beautiful people that I haven't seen in so long. And I want to say this much, that this art, this devotion to keep our people proud and encouraged began with me in '55. I started my first festival. The Pan-African Film Festival now has celebrated 26 years this year. And I'm the founder and co-founder of that. And I'm going to say, and so I'm about to cry, but I'm not. I think I'm too cute to cry. But I will say this, I am honored to be here with all of you. I'm proud of you. Oh, it's pretty people, my God. It's blown my mind. I just want to say I am busy doing my documentary on my life
because it's something that maybe you might be interested in, some of the things that I have done, because you must know we all have to start somewhere encouraging these young people. And I've been doing that for 50 years. Oh, I stole my age. But anyway, I thank you so much, so very much. And I'm going to back up so I don't fall.
Now, they are receiving the 2017 Orbis Award. This award is in honor of a man that we will continue to honor from this year on. His name is Dr. Calvin Wilson. Dr. Calvin Wilson is a humanitarian. He is a proud United States Army veteran. This man has been an engaged man when it comes to diversity and people around the world. When we talk about world travels and a person that has embraced planet Earth, this is the man that has truly done it. He has traveled almost every corner of this planet. In fact, I was going through his videos and was so amazed at all the places that this man has traveled throughout his lifetime. And if there's anyone that really understands diversity, and if there's a man that really appreciates every culture, every music, every flag color, this is the man that has been doing it passionately for many, many decades. We have a wonderful video clip. We cannot show every country that this man has traveled throughout his life, but we'll just give you a portion of some of the countries that he's been. And when I say over 100, I really am not exaggerating. In fact, every country that he's ever traveled, you know, he couldn't bring momentums from every country. So what he decided to do was bring shot glasses this small. He has an entire case full of shot glasses from every country that he has visited around the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to have you to come forward. Please stand for this icon, this legend, this world lover of planet Earth. He has traveled all around the world. Dr. Calvin Wilson.
Straight ahead, this way.
Okay. Okay. Yes, let's change these. One more time. Yeah.
Right
Here we go.
Straight ahead. Janae, this is
Okay, honey.
We up here.
Very proud of you.
There's no other place I've been everywhere on this earth.
You sure did it. You did it in style, too. And you did it right, too.
Yeah.
Good? Yeah. Okay. Like, can I ride back with you in your chair? Because I don't think I can walk back.
Yeah.
Do I look like a little short girl?
Before I start my speech, I would kindly ask you to join me in a moment of silence in honor of the innocent people who were killed as a result of the terrorist attack on Palm Sunday in Egypt 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Yes.
It's with great pleasure and an immense honor to be with you today to speak about my beloved country, Egypt. I seized this opportunity to thank Ms. April Sutton for organizing this wonderful event. Being a part of the 9th annual Diplomats Tea Gala and addressing a distinguished audience to emphasize that the Egyptian history plays a crucial part in our contemporary daily Egyptian lives and how it interconnects the past with the present and the future. Let me start my speech with a quote by Herodotus, the great Greek historian, on his visit to Egypt, when he said Egypt is a gift of the River Nile. The richness of the annual River Nile flood allowed for the development of one of the greatest civilizations mankind has witnessed in this world until this moment. I can proudly state that Egypt is a cradle of civilization. The ancient Egyptians have contributed greatly to our present-day appreciation for math, science, and art. The monuments and temples, statues, and other magnificent discoveries in every corner in the Egyptian soil are considered living witnesses of the achievements of our ancestors. Egypt is famous for its accumulative history from the pharaohs to the Romans, Greeks, Coptic, and Islamic influence. This unique and rare combination is hard to be found anywhere else in the world. These developments were built on each other and remain a credible influence in history. It has successfully developed over thousands of years. The legacy that the ancient Egyptians left is still embedded in every Egyptian's daily life, which is being in love with life. This has shaped the Egyptian culture that we know nowadays. Being the largest nation in the Middle East and Africa hasn't been built overnight, but it's due to this fascinating and rich history. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me speak about Egypt nowadays. As you know, the Egyptian government is currently confronting a series of security, social, and economic challenges. Egypt has started to instill confidence among global investors and multinational corporations to invest in Egypt. Egypt has also successfully restored the political stability after the turbulence of the Arab Spring. However, the terrorists are trying hard to tarnish the image of the stability of Egypt. It intends to harm Egypt's reputation as a safe place for tourists. The main objective is to deliver an impression to the whole world that Egypt doesn't have the ability to handle the security situation, which is absolutely untrue. It aims at stabilizing Egypt so that hindering the foreign investors to continue pouring money. When our enemies find out that efforts Egypt achieves in terms of maintaining the stability in the region, this makes them furious. It's really sad to see the terror attacks that occurred on Palm Sunday on the two big churches in Alexandria and Tanta. There is no religion in the world that allows killing innocent people. Using violence to assault and kill people is called terrorism. Amen. Terrorism is an international phenomenon which threatens the whole international community. It has no religion, no borders, and I can assure you that the security forces in Egypt have efficiently combated them firmly. All the traps they use are unknown, and the Egyptian people are resisting them, along with the Egyptian government. To Egypt is a clear message that shows the solidarity with the Egyptians to reject the abhorrent acts of terrorism and extremism, in addition to delivering a message that Egypt is safe and is welcoming everyone in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say that Egypt is on the cusp of economic transformation as it introduced reforms that has the potential to trigger an inflow of international investments. Egypt has taken serious steps towards applying strong economic reform to attract the investment climate. The Central Bank of Egypt has recently allowed the currency to float freely, and leading to a sharp devaluation of Egyptian pound. All these positive indications made the global environment show its support, and the international market recognizes the improvement in Egyptian perspectives. The International Monetary Fund's $12 billion credit facility and the currency devaluation provided an advantage for all foreign investors, with the potential to pave the way for economic growth in the country. The loan has injected more money into the Egyptian economy, and it gives confidence in the government, making Egypt more attractive to foreign investors. The mood among international investors toward Egyptian risks is currently very positive. Egypt is working hard to strengthen its economy, improve education, overcome the country's energy crisis. Furthermore, the government has worked on projects that provide a proper business environment with international trade. One of these projects is the expansion of the Suez Canal project. One of the other projects that the government is working very hard on improving is the infrastructure by constructing new highways and roads to connect the cities all together. The aim of all these projects is to assure that the economic improvements that have repercussions on the Egyptian economy in the present and the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Egypt is a dazzling destination of temples and tombs that impresses all who visit. It's not only just historic treasures and tombs, but it also has a superb scuba diving in the beaches in the Red Sea, which is considered to be one of the top beautiful beaches in the world. Beach lovers head to the Sinai to soak up the sun, while archaeology fans will have a field day in Luxor and Aswan. Cairo is also one of the cities, of course, that has too many places to explore, from the pyramids and the Egyptian Museum to the old synagogues, churches, mosques. Tourism is considered one of the driving forces for our economy, for the Egyptian economy. Being proudly the oldest nations in the world, being proudly the oldest civilization in the world, has made Egypt famous for its treasures that are very abundant. This amuses all the visitors who come to explore every corner, which has exciting stories. I would love to see all of you visit my beloved Egypt. I hope all of you not only enjoy the Egyptian history and sightseeing, but also the Egyptian hospitality and generosity. The land of the pharaohs is waiting for everyone to visit. Thank you very much.
On behalf of myself, this 2017 Diplomat Diversity Gala, I would like to present this structure of a beautiful sculpture. And I picked this out for you because it really shows what men can do when they pull together. All of the great monuments that have been built, that we don't even know how, even to this day, how these structures were created. But I want to give this to you. When I saw this, I certainly thought this is extraordinary. Also, I spoke to Her Excellency, the ambassador from Egypt, and she has already claimed one of the Picassos. I want you to know that all of our honorees walk away with one of these tonight. So let's take a photograph. Isn't that lovely? You like that? United Nations. I'm always so amazed at the outfits that the women from Senegal show up wearing. It's almost like if anyone else shows up at the United Nations, it's like you don't even want to stand next to them. They're tall and statuette, absolutely beautiful, and they know how to put these outfits together. And this woman tonight certainly represents all of that and more. And I'm talking about the incomparable Mamie Tokolor. Let's give her a round of applause. She is the Honorary Consul General of Senegal. She's a native of Senegal and has lived in Los Angeles for 27 years. She is presently the Honorary Consul General of Senegal in Los Angeles and has recently been appointed a Peace Ambassador by the Global Prosperity Peace Initiative in Utah and is a member of the Women Information Network, which empowers women around the world. And she just became a member of an organization called One Africa. She also received an award by Vigor Goodwill Awards for philanthropy in Canada. Mamie has worked with several organizations like the Pan-African Film Festival, African Focus Inc., and as a vice president where she has inducted many African Americans into her Senegalese family. UCLA Africa Studies as a guest speaker for lectures involving West African culture and schools. For many years, she has worked with Los Angeles Superior Court and many courts in Southern California, interpreting and advocating for battered women and many immigrants. She is presently the VP of Family Bridge Foundation and is working closely with other members of her community as a vice president of the Senegalese association to make a difference in people's lives here in the United States and in Africa and beyond. She thrives to see betterment in her environment and whole world around her. Mamie is always looking for ways to reach out for underprivileged children and women, building the bridge between Senegal, the United States, and the rest of the world through socio-economic, cultural, economic, educational activities and programs. She was born in Thebes, and I want you to know that she will continue with her philanthropic mission, and she is going to accomplish it, and she has determined that she will not stop. We actually have a video also of Senegal. Let's take a look at that. We are so honored to have you here, and you look absolutely so stunning.
Well, thank you so much, April. I'm so honored, to have you accompany me here. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone for coming. The Senegalese community is here. The member of the board, the president of the Senegalese community is here. And my fellow consuls who came and support me. Thank you so much for everyone to come. I feel so honored and deeply touched for having my country of origin on the spotlight tonight. On behalf of the Senegalese community and all the members of the Senegalese Corps in the United States, I say Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
May peace be upon you. Growing up, I lived in a house which I called the United Nations. It was so many of us, and my parents raised me, my siblings, and many other children. Some were relatives, some were neighbors, some were abandoned children, some were sent just to be given a chance, for they were rebellious and single mothers could not handle. My mother and spark were constantly simmering from all these children, and my father was named the Good Samaritan. I watched him handling dramas through family conferences, stories, and previous experiences. He is a wise man. As an inquisitive young lady, I understood quickly these etiquettes and values he was trying to instill in us. It takes a village to raise a child. And all the values such as tolerance, unity, love, acceptance of others, no matter their status, color, or rank. These values being necessary in our life, or should I say, because of this belief, our ancestors were taken advantage of, and by the rest of the world through slavery, colonization, and simply these predators were just so ingenious in these deceitful agendas. Senegal is the nose of Africa. If you look at it, it looks like a head right in front of the map of Africa. So it's the nose of Africa. It bled for centuries. Though through this treacherous destabilization of traditional values, distortion in our economic resources, and the shift of our human capital. Colonization has stripped Senegal, among other African countries, of its assets, and slavery has robbed my beloved country of its values. And I witnessed it from my several stories I heard at the Palaba hut from my grandmother, and the real sources of researches from our Senegalese library. But there is only one thing I believe, as my peers taught me: the truth always prevails. Yes. I set sail to the United States through a college scholarship program when I was young, a long time ago. I was puzzled. I was puzzled to see that this historical tragedy has a rippled effect on other corners of the world. I was puzzled to see that my country was ill represented, and that the whole world was to see the negative, belittling image of my nation. Thank God, when I was in that program, I was able to bail my country out with a better portrait with pictures, scriptures, and even eyewitnesses I brought with me. So I made it my mission, whether it was in baby steps or large progress, to advocate for my country and help it polish its tarnished image. From lectures, conferences, From forums to roundtables, from Q&As to interviews, from teachings to actions, wherever I went, I made sure the voice of Senegal is heard. To enlighten the ignorant, and I would not stop until my mission is accomplished. Today, Africa is rising, and Senegal is proving it. As statistics say, Senegal is a country of many achievements. Its democracy has been a model for Africa, as exemplified by the diversity of its parliament. Its legal system is respected, and it is recognized for its education system, dynamic civil society, and strong civil service. Yet Senegal cannot rest on this achievement. Today, it stands as a critical turning point. The foundation for growth has been laid, but growth is neither victorious nor inclusive enough to unlock Senegal's potential, significantly roll back poverty, and secure a brighter future for its youth. Fortunately, there is a roadmap. The government's new development strategy, Plan Sénégal Émergent, is an ambitious yet feasible path towards emerging economy status. Accelerating and broadening the reform required by this plan are integral to this vision, a vision that Senegal shares with many of its African peers. Senegal has made significant progress in securing macroeconomic stability through agriculture, mining, tourism, and education. The world to rediscover the real Senegal, a Senegal with many untapped resources, a Senegal where the Lion Rouge again a rugi, the red lion has roared, a Senegal that has not opened the door of no return, as they say in the House of Slavery in Gorée Island, a Senegal that has hospitality as teranga in Wolof, a Senegal that welcomes you with a wide open door. Jërëjëf, as the Wolof said, thank you very much.
So all of you know I'm an art buff and an advocate of art, and I found this sculpture for you. When we think of Africa, we think of Mother Africa, and I have a fine sculpture with a woman holding a baby. All right. Our next honoree is from the country of the Bahamas. Oh.
Well, we would like to present you something.
I
represent one of the sponsors for this event, the TCM Forum, Traditional Chinese Medicine Forum. My name is Gary Wyatt, and it's our first time here to the Diversity Gala. And we're very honored to be here, and we want to present this to you for not only your great work, but to show you this is your great success.
Yeah.
Of all
You can come forward?
Yeah.
Yes, come up.
It's nice.
All right, thank you. That was a surprise. I really wasn't expecting that. The flowers are beautiful. Thank you. Women always love flowers, don't we? Can never get enough. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Honorable Honorary Consul General of the Bahamas. Yes, Senator Scott. He was born and raised in Nassau, Bahamas. After completing his high school education, he left the Bahamas for Los Angeles but transferred to New York and entered the American Academy for Dramatic Arts, where he received his undergraduate degree. His desire to become an actor led him to England, where he spent many years in British repertory theatre, among them the well-known Northcote Theatre in Exeter. He also enjoyed success in BBC radio, plays, television, notably in the television film On Trial. He was seen in a play in London by the chairman of the theatre department of the University of Georgia. Mr. Scott was invited as a guest artist to the University of Georgia School of Theatre and subsequently entertained the he was invited to enter the university's NFA degree program, where he earned his Graduate of Fine Arts degree. He was introduced to the late Academy Award winner director Robert Altman and was invited to Hollywood to be featured in one of his films, A Wedding, and several others, including The Player. He lives in Los Angeles, where he has spent the greater part of his adult life working in film and television as an actor, producer, and also as an assistant director of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, the oldest theater school in the U.S. From 1983 to 1998, he worked with Sidney Poitier as president of production for Vernon Cedric Productions, producing such films as Fast Forward, Little Nikita, Ghost Dad, To Serve with Love No. 2, Mandela, Free of Eden, Separate but Equal, just to name a few. In December 2014, Mr. Scott was named honorary consul for the Bahamas to California by the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry G. Christie. While he has lived outside the Bahamas for the majority of his life, Mr. Scott has always maintained a passionate love for his homeland, and he has always contributed to the arts and politics of his native land. More recently, in 2016, the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister asked him to conceive and executive produce a tribute show and film to the Bahamian icon treasurer, Sir Sidney Poitier, to mark his 90th birthday on February the 20th, 2017. Mr. Scott has a proud family lineage whose love and support has always sustained him. He lives in Studio City with his wife Yoki. They have 3 adult daughters, and we are very, very honored to have him to represent his country tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am humbled and honored by this. The Bahamas, ladies and gentlemen, I extend to you warm greetings from the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Bahamas gained historic notoriety more than 500 years ago when Christopher Columbus made landfall on one of the Bahamian Islands, Guanahani, now called San Salvador. This visit being the first voyage of his exploration outside the flat world as he knew it, it is no surprise that he had no clue where he had landed. He actually set sail for India. How we in the Caribbean and the Americas wish he had not gotten lost. But then that would change the whole course of history, and we've all been very vastly different today. The Bahamas is just 50 miles off the coast of Florida, to over 100 square miles, to within a few miles of Hispaniola. It's a country of 700 islands, actually 1,700, counting the reefs and keys. The islands are endowed with a breathtaking natural beauty in the sea, gorgeous beaches, landscapes, and pristine environment. Nature's gift have been traded to transform the country into a playground where the world stressed, tired, and weary come to unplug, unwind, relax, and rejuvenate. Some of the friendliest people in the world, hospitality is one of our chief traditions. And each year we roll out a welcome mat for 6 million plus visitors. Independent since 1973, with a population of 380,000 plus, the Bahamas remains a member of the British Commonwealth of Nations. Our parliamentary democracy is the 3rd oldest continuous democracy in the world and dates back approximately 300 years. And a new government is elected every 5 years. The economy, which started in the days of piracy and rum running, is now anchored in tourism, financial services, which in turn is bolstered by ship registration. The Bahamas has the 4th largest ship registry in the world. Agriculture, fisheries, and to a minor extent, construction. Mineral resources are salt and aragonite. The Bahamas is a multiplicity of islands, destinations. When one thinks of the Bahamas, remember that you have the option of 16 major island groupings. Many of you are well aware of Nassau and the Paradise Island and Freeport, but the Bahamas is so much more. The other island gems of the Bahamas go by the names of such Grand Bahama Island, Abaco, Exuma, Eleuthera, Harbour Island, Cat Island, the home of our national treasure, Sidney Poitier, Ragged Island, and Rumkey. And each island destination has its own unique personality, and each offers the visitor a distinctly different vacation experience. The Bahamas is a jurisdiction that prides itself in being investor-friendly and offers many attractive incentives for investors. Financial services is the second pillar of the economy. The Bahamas is a safe and profitable place to invest, with a stable currency on par with the US dollar. It is the leading offshore financial center, heavily patronized by Swiss, Canadian, and US institutions. There are no taxes on personal income, capital gains, don't you like that? Corporate earnings, inheritance, or dividends. Recently, value-added tax was introduced at a rate of 7.5% on goods and services. The Bahamas benefits from billions of dollars in direct foreign investments, ranging from billion-dollar mega projects on New Providence, the Baha Mar on Cable Beach, which actually had a soft opening on the 21st of this month, the Point, downtown Nassau, the 2 unique resorts throughout the Family Islands. This is made attractive also by the generous tax incentives offered by the Bahamian government. The Bahamas is also a staging ground for world-class international events, and for 3 consecutive years, the Bahamas has hosted the IAAF World Relays. Early this month, the FIFA Beach World Soccer Cup of Bahamas 2017, and annually hosts the 4 PGA golf tournaments and the WGA golf tournament also. This year, the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, in association with regional Caribbean partners, will stage the first ever Caribbean Film Festival and Market to be held on Grand Cayenne Resort in Freeport, Grand Bahama, from November 2nd. From November 2nd to 5th in 2017. This endeavor will encourage participation of all Caribbean nations to build a world-class film festival and market, highlighting the unique cultures and peoples who richly represent this region of the world. I believe this is a golden opportunity for the Caribbean nations to begin coming together as one unified voice. I feel that we have been under-recognized in the world, on the world stage, and joint efforts of this may be the beginnings of a richly deserved acknowledgement. Thank you, April, the annual Diversity Tea Committee, and members of the minority business. It has been my honor to be here today, and thank you for inviting me.
When I saw this sculpture, I can't help but think of the men of the Caribbean and your country and how you all have climbed steps to be and become to where you are today. You all represent the island. We greatly appreciate your culture and I'm very honored to have you here to represent your country. Thank you so much, and let's give him a round of applause. Representing a great nation. He is the Consul General of the great country of Greece. Gregory Karahalios was born in Athens, Greece in 1961. He studied law at the University of Rome, and he has a master's degree in ecclesiastical law from the same university. He worked as a lawyer in Athens for 5 years, and in 1997 he joined the Hellenic Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He served at the Embassy of Greece in Ankara between 1999 and 2004, and at the Embassy of Greece in Rome in 2004 to 2008. From 2008 to 2014, he served as first counselor at the Department of Middle East and Arab Countries at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Greece. In 2014, he was appointed Consul General of Greece in Los Angeles. I cannot tell you how honored and how happy I am to have this distinguished man. He is here representing the great country of Greece. Your Excellency, please stand. We're so happy to have you here tonight.
So, good afternoon again. I would like to thank, first of all, Ambassador Sutton for her wonderful words and for inviting me tonight here. I also would like to congratulate her for the wonderful work she's doing all these years, trying to bring people closer, and I hope that she will continue this wonderful job because the world needs people like her. And so I'm here to speak about Greece tonight. It's a little bit hard to speak about Greece in such a short time. So I will try to be a little bit brief. Before speaking about the country, I think it's important to speak a little bit about its inhabitants. So Greeks emerged in the second millennium BC in the area of Eastern Mediterranean, in an area which is well known as cradle of many civilizations like the Egyptian and Sumerian. Greek civilization came a little bit after and managed to absorb a lot of elements from these previous civilizations. So Greeks established themselves in an area between the Aegean and the Ionian Sea, and about the year 800 BC they start expanding. First of all, they expand in the Asia Minor, today is Turkey over there, and later in southern Italy, southern France, Egypt, and again Black Sea, and of course probably you all know that we reached our maximum of glory during the period of Alexander the Great in about 320 BC. Today, Greece is, again, after all these years, still one of the most developed countries in the world. It's a small country, but it's part of all major international organizations, NATO, European Union, etc., etc. And it has the biggest merchant fleet in the world, and it is considered one of the major tourist destinations. Before speaking about modern Greece, I would like to spend some more time to explain to you why Greece is famous. I think it's famous mostly because of its history and of its legacies. Greeks, as I said before, managed to assimilate a lot of knowledge from other populations of the area, and they bring them to another level. Greece is, as you know, the homeland of democracy. But not only, we are famous for our architecture, for our sculpture, poetry, and many other important elements that make today's world what it is. One of the most important legacies that Greece left to the world, I think, is philosophy. For the first time, Greeks start seeing the world from another perspective. For the first time, people start thinking and approaching concept as is the universe from a different perspective, as I said. So science was and logic were the main instruments. Not anymore fear for the unknown, and not anymore prejudice. Philosophy is considered a science that explores everything. So it's not a partial science like all the others. It explores all human behaviors, and therefore it is considered the science of sciences. And that is what I believe is Greece's legacy to the world. And many others, of course. I will remind you the Olympic Games and all the rest that you already know. After these centuries, Greece is today still, as I said, a small but important country, which is connected with this timeline of history and is basically past and present are connected until today. Today we are a democratic country in a very critical area of the world. You all probably know that there is a war ongoing in Syria, very close to us. There is turmoil in Libya and all the Middle East. And in all that, Greece is still a peaceful land, ready to offer its help to thousands and thousands of refugees coming from Syria. And we do that without asking anything from anyone. We hope that this crazy war, I think, must end. And this is something that all of us should work for. Yes. Now, to make some advertisement about my country, I would say that it's one of the most famous tourist destinations. We receive something like 24-25 million tourists per year, which is the double of our population. This is because our position in the Eastern Mediterranean is really very good, offer fantastic climatic conditions like Southern California somehow. And therefore we are one of the major tourist destinations, not only for Europeans but also for the United States. We managed to increase the number of American tourists visiting Greece in 10% in the last 2 years. And that, of course, offers us a new perspective for the future. We try always to improve our touristic product by diversified according to the needs of people visiting the country. We're having the famous Mediterranean cuisine together with Italy. We have hundreds of historic famous places, museums, art galleries, wonderful beaches, islands. We have 16,000 kilometers of coastline, and we are also one of the most famous yachting destinations. So I will not bother you much with all this advertisement. I would like just to say and hope that all of you, if you will have the chance to visit my country one day, and we will try to spoil you with our hospitality. To make you feel like home. That's all I want to say for tonight.
Now, I want you all to know something. My mother, who just turned 99 years young, when I told my mother, Dr. Serena Sutton, that I was going to be honoring a representative from the country of Greece, she said, oh my goodness, she goes, that's fabulous, because my mom has been there. And she said, well, I know that you like art and you're always looking for sculptures. She said, are you going to get that sculpture with the man that's bending over with the round disc in his hand? I said, well, if I can find something like that, I think, Mom, that's a good idea. And guess what I found? We thank you so much for all of the contributions of what your country gives to the world, the Olympics, and this is just a representative of what we all know and what you all have done for the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I would like all the honorees to come to the stage. Egypt, I would like Bahamas, I would like Giovanni Brewer to come to the stage. Our honorees for a photo op. And Senegal, yeah, all of you, please come and bring your wonderful art pieces, if you will. Here? Okay. Picasso. Okay? So I want you to decide which one you want to take home with you tonight. If all of you want the Picasso, obviously there's only 3 there. So whichever one you want, you will receive. Okay? So please take a look at all of it. There's a Monet, there's a Kandinsky, there's a Picasso, there's a Cezanne.
Go ahead, yes, why not? What do you want?
Are you sure? Okay. So let's take a picture with them standing next to, all of you just stand next to one of the masterpieces. I want to thank the Norton Simon Museum. That's always been so wonderful to
So this is the only item that you can take from the White House without being jailed. And it is something that is in every restroom, except it has the presidential seal, and this one happens to have 44. Oh, I want to see what I like. Okay. So, you know, and it is kind of symbolic, since it's the house that we built. Absolutely. And the house that we still clean. Oh my goodness. And the sister that was there, yes. I said, may I have a few? And she says, absolutely.
That
so
is
here
so awesome. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Look at this. That is amazing. Thank you so much. This is amazing.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings from the capital of the world, which is Santa Barbara. No, was that a joke? That's serious. Your Excellency, April Sutton from Santa Barbara, Friends of Wani Kenya International. Our founder was unable to be here because of health challenges, but my name is Miguel Avila, just finished being president of the organization, and we had the honor of being here last year, and thank you again for the invitation to be here this year. We appreciate it so much. We have gifts for you. You can see the bag reflects the cheetah, because we go to Kenya and we go to safaris. Yes. That's from us.
Thank you so much.
And from your very close friend, Dana.
Oh.
have a great event coming up, our annual fundraiser, May 20th. Last year we had African themed dancers, and it was a fabulous evening. This year we're having a Mexican theme. It's called a Mexican serenade, Serenata Mexicana. So you need to come to Santa Barbara, seriously. You need to come to Santa Barbara. I would love all of you to be our guests. Seriously, I mean, bring...
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Oh my
One more. You know I love you. You know I love you.
Get a picture with this.
Okay, ready? Let me hug you.